Most teams think they have an AI problem. Usually, they have a workflow problem. I see this a lot across Asia. A founder buys tools, the team gets excited for 2 weeks, and then everything slows down at the exact point where a customer needs help. Why? Because the process was fuzzy before the technology arrived. If nobody knows who owns the handoff, how fast a reply should happen, or when a human needs to step in, AI just sits on top of the confusion. And customers feel that immediately. They don't say, your automation is broken. They just say, this company is hard to deal with. That's the real cost. Lost trust, slower sales, fewer repeat orders. In short, the fix starts much earlier than the software purchase. A lot of SMEs in Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand and beyond spend heavily to get the next customer through the door, then forget what happens after the first sale. That's backward. The cheapest growth often comes from the customer who already trusts you. If the post-sale experience is smooth, people buy again, refer others, and tolerate small mistakes. If it's sloppy, you end up paying for new leads just to replace the ones you lost. That's why customer experience is not a soft topic. It's margin, it's cash flow, it's lower CAC without calling it that. And AI can help here, but only if it improves the follow-up, the service recovery, and the speed of response. Otherwise, you're just automating a weak relationship and hoping it feels efficient. Here's where people get carried away. They try to automate judgment before they automate repetition. That's a mistake. In customer-facing work, not every moment should be handed to AI. If a case is emotional, high value, legally sensitive, or reputationally risky, keep a human in the loop. In ASEAN, that matters even more because language, tone, and context can change the meaning of a reply fast. A polite answer that sounds fine in one market can feel cold or confusing in another. So, use AI for the routine parts first, sorting requests, drafting replies, tagging issues, summarizing conversations, and routing the next step. That's where it saves time without damaging trust. Then let humans handle the moments where trust is actually being built or repaired. Before you buy another tool, map the workflow like an operator, not a dreamer. Start with one customer journey: inquiry, qualification, sale, onboarding, support, renewal. Then ask 5 questions. Who owns each step? What's the SLA? Where does the handoff happen? What data is needed? What counts as success? If your team can't answer those questions quickly, AI will only expose the gaps faster. And that's useful because it tells you the real work. I'd rather see a company with one simple, clear flow that works than 5 automated systems nobody fully understands. This is especially true in family-run businesses and multi-branch operators across Asia, where decisions often live in people's heads. AI can't read those heads. It needs a process it can follow. One detail people ignore is the quality of the input. If your website, email, forms, product pages, or chat prompts are messy, AI starts from bad information. Then the answers get worse, not better. I've seen this with businesses that have too many contact options, unclear menus, vague product descriptions, or a support page that doesn't match how customers actually ask for help. The model isn't the issue, the structure is. In practice, that means your website should make it easy for AI and humans to understand intent, what the customer wants, which market they're in, and how urgent the issue is. In ASEAN, this matters even more because customers often move between website, WhatsApp, Instagram, and phone. If those inputs don't line up, automation will feel random, and random service kills confidence fast. A lot of AI trouble starts before the AI even runs. The form is confusing, the product page is vague, the customer chooses the wrong category, the chatbot then tries to be smart, but it's working from bad inputs. That's why some teams blame the model when the real issue is the front door. If your website or intake process pushes people into the wrong path, the automation will only route faster to the wrong destination. I've seen this with support forms, lead capture pages, and even refund requests. The fix is usually unglamorous: clearer labels, fewer fields, better defaults, and one obvious next step. Once customers stop guessing, AI has a much cleaner job. Good automation starts with good entry points, not perfect. just clear enough that the machine and the human are reading the same story. A smart rollout begins with one workflow, not a grand platform promise. Pick a process with enough volume to matter and enough clarity to measure. For example, new lead follow-up, case routing, or post-purchase reminders. Then define the owner, the approval step, the escalation rule, and the outcome you want. Test it with one team for 2 weeks. Don't open it to everyone. Don't call it transformation yet. Call it a pilot. That matters because a pilot forces discipline. You learn where the gaps are, where the exceptions pile up, and where people still need help. If the flow is working, you can widen it. If not, you fix the weak point before the damage spreads. That's how good operators think. They don't buy confidence. They earn it with a small controlled win. If you only track speed, you can fool yourself. A faster reply is nice, but it doesn't matter if the customer still leaves unhappy. The better scorecard links AI to business outcomes: resolution time, repeat purchase rate, escalation rate, conversion rate, and the amount of manual rework your team avoids. In one company, a faster auto response looked successful until they noticed customers were still asking the same question twice. That meant the answer was quick but not useful. So, don't measure activity, measure closure. Measure whether the customer got unstuck, whether the team had to clean up the same case again, and whether revenue improved after the change. This is where leaders separate real operating value from vanity automation. If the metric does not change customer behavior or team load, it's not a win yet. There are moments when a person should step in immediately: emotional complaints, high-value accounts, refund disputes, anything with brand risk, legal sensitivity, or a customer who is clearly upset. AI can prepare the draft, summarize the case, and suggest the next step. But the final judgment should sit with a human who understands context. That's not a weakness in the system, it's a strength. Customers do not want to feel processed when the issue matters to them. They want to feel understood. The smartest teams use AI to clear the noise so that people can show up where trust is on the line. So in other words, let the machine do the sorting, not the soothing. Let it handle the structure, not the relationship. That division keeps the workflow fast without making the brand feel cold. Technology rollout often fails because people are tired, not because the software is impossible. If the team is already overloaded, every new system feels like one more interruption. That's why leaders need to watch the human side of change. Are managers answering the same question 5 times? Are frontline staff rewriting AI drafts because the tone is off? Are approvals taking longer because nobody trusts the process yet? Those are burnout signals, and they matter. A tired team will quietly resist even a good workflow. The fix is not more pressure, it's fewer moving parts, better training, and a smaller surface area for mistakes. I found that when the first workflow actually saves time, people stop fighting the change. They can feel the difference in their day. That's when adoption becomes real, not theoretical. If I had to reduce this to one plan, it would be 3 steps. First, map one customer journey from lead to repeat purchase. Second, mark the points where work gets stuck, repeated, or handed off without clear ownership. Third, choose one workflow to automate in a small pilot and measure it against real outcomes. Not abstract goals, real ones. That might be fewer missed leads, faster resolution, or better repeat sales. This is how you keep AI grounded in business value. You are not trying to impress anyone with complexity. You're trying to make the customer path smoother and the operating load lighter. Once that works, you can expand to the next journey. This sequence matters because it keeps leadership honest. If you can't improve one lane, you probably don't need a bigger rollout. You need a cleaner process. So here's the real lesson. AI does not create customer growth by itself. It multiplies whatever is already happening in your customer journey. If that journey is messy, you'll get faster mess. If it's clear, measurable, and owned, AI can help you move customers through it with less friction and more trust. That's the mindset I'd want every founder and operator in Asia to use. Start with the journey, tighten the handoffs, keep humans where judgment matters. Then let AI support the rest. If you want the workflow reference, subscribe to this channel and comment workflow below. I'll know you want the practical version, not the hype version, and that's the one worth building. Thank you, and see you in next AI video.